Hello everybody, Michael Lanfield here, and thank you for joining me. So this is an exciting video. Wow. So thank you for joining me in Peaceful Village in the part we call Tierra Libertad. So thank you. So today's video is on Mango Wodzak. As many of you know, in the vegan, raw vegan, who Mango Wodzak is or was, and he was an incredible human that wrote a lot of books on veganism and Eden fruitarianism. He coined the term Eden fruitarian or Eden fruitarianism, and he did a lot for the movement, for the life that one calls vegan or Eden fruitarian, and raw veganism, and so forth. He is an amazing being, and I wanna definitely say thank you to him for all that he did, all these decades. And yeah, I read, Aurora and I, we read his biography, his autobiographies. So we read his first, second, and third. I read his first one a while back, and then Aurora read that one, and then we both read together the second and the third part of the book, of the autobiography. And I gotta say that it was like a lot of, it was funny. Much of the read was very funny. I had him on many times on my YouTube channel, which is now defunct, and now we're doing Peaceful Village YouTube channel. But yeah, it was a funny read. It was a very great read. All of them were just great. I really liked it. The first one was more serious. The other two were more fun, and yeah, we really liked it. Yeah, it took some time to read because they were pretty big books. So yeah. So this video is about what happened to him. Now, none of us can say exactly what happened because we were not Mango Wodzak. So I just wanna come a little bit closer so you can have a real good feeling. I don't have a full setup yet because I'm using right now a tablet, and so it might seem weird how I'm talking to you, or the camera is like not directly in front of me, because I just don't have a setup right now where to put the tablet properly. So I'm kind of, yeah. Anyways, that will be done at some point. At the moment, this is about what happened to Mango Wodzak. Now, the first thing is that no one, not even Keta, knows really what happened to him. From what we understand, okay, no one was with him, just Keta from time to time. But as I understand, maybe I'm wrong, as I understand, they were doing their own thing. They were in the same place, in the same house, but they were doing their own thing, I think, in different rooms. But from time to time, they were seeing each other and this kind of thing. So no one really knows what happened. No one can say for sure it was this or that or whatever. No one knows. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to tell you what I feel that happened. But I really don't know. Again, this is just my opinion, what happened. Now, one thing I just want to mention before is that Keta is a lovely soul, Keta Martinez. She has a long name, but I don't know what it is, but Keta Martinez. She is a beautiful, lovely soul, and she is an incredible human being. I really thank her for what she's doing, all that she's doing in this world to making this place better for everyone. So thank you to Keta. And now she's learning how to use laptop and computers and things, so she can give more videos to people. So yeah, to share veganism and raw veganism with people, and eating fruitarianism with people, and through her books and all of that. So may she live a long, long, happy life this lifetime until she goes to her next life. So Mango Wodzak. So firstly, no one knows anything about what happened to Mango Wodzak. According to what we understand, when he was in his last days or last hours of life, he was saying that I was poisoned. I was poisoned. I was poisoned. So as you know, he was not eating completely organic or veganic. Veganic is that system that doesn't use anything that comes from non-human animals. So nothing that comes from domesticated non-human animals. No feather meal, no bone meal, no blood meal, no fish meal, no animal manure, this kind of things. So we do not domesticate any animal and use their excrements. We don't pick up shit from a cow that passed by on the street and put it on our plants. We don't do any of that. We use our own excrement, our own urine, our own vegan compost. And so he was buying a lot of his food still from the markets. They were not completely self-sustainable. They were not living in that house that they are now, that Keta is now. They were not living there for their entire lives or even a very long time. They just had it for, I don't know now how long it's been, but at least 10 years or 15 years. And Mango Wodzak, according to him, he wasn't doing a lot of work in the forestry, according to what I understand. So they were not completely self-sustainable. So they needed to go to the market to buy their food. Now you know that truly everybody knows that when you're buying conventional sprayed chemical fruits and vegetables, that you're going to be in some way is going to be contaminated. Okay? Not only is it contaminated with the chemicals, it's contaminated with manure, mostly manure and other things that come from non-human animals. And it's mainly the stuff that is coming from animal agriculture that poses a threat. Hi, animal. That poses a threat. Because animal agriculture does this sneaky thing called using the shit and the piss from non-human animals, domesticated non-human animals, onto the crops for human consumption, for animal consumption, etc. Now, there's a lot of, because they don't cure the compost properly. They take it just after a short period of time. They don't cure it properly. And truly, I smelled a lot of this what they call manure and feather meal and all this kind of stuff, or fish meal. Fish meal I never smelled, because I was exposed at some point, or I saw at some point some people using chicken manure or cow manure, feather meal, and it smells horrible. Okay, if it smells horrible, why would you use that stuff on your crops? It smells horrible. You can use your own excrement, you can use your own urine, and that's it. You don't need to use animal stuff. If wild animals are passing by and they shit and piss all over the land, that's fine, because those are naturally free roaming animals. They are not domesticating. You're not confining and taking their excrements. Okay? So, he wasn't eating, and they were not eating completely raw. Sorry, take that back. They were not eating completely organic or veganic, and even the organic, commercially organic available stuff, they use manure. Most people, they use non-human animal manure. Yeah, so that's a problem because it's contaminated. It can have E. coli and Salmonella and Campylobacter and all these things in the shit. Feathers and all the other blood meal and bone meal and this kind of stuff, they can be all problematic. Okay? Now, that is the key. He probably died because of the poisoning of the manure, of the blood meal, the bone meal, whatever was added to the compost for those crops that he was eating. He was eating at the time mainly juice from cucumber and tomato. Cucumbers and tomatoes, there's a lot I can say about cucumbers and tomatoes juice. I don't know, that's not a juice for me, really. But he was probably craving, because cucumbers and tomatoes give you more kind of salty flavor, like a sodium flavor. So he was definitely, he even mentioned in his book, his last book, that he eats katuk, which is basically, it's also called sweet leaf. So he was eating sweet leaf, so leaves, and he was also eating some onion chives, so the green parts of the onion chives. So he was planting the onions probably, and then he was just cutting the tops of them when they were getting long and eating those from time to time. He said it wasn't a daily occurrence, but he was eating from time to time. I don't know how much is time to time, if it was every second day or once a week or what have you, but it was definitely not a daily occurrence. Okay? So that thing. The thing about not drinking water, I don't know about that, because, well, first of all, I tell you something. Keta, now I want to get back to what Keta was saying, is that Keta says, don't talk to me about water, don't talk to me about things that are not facts. Because the medical industry gave me this paper, and it says the facts here, that he died from clogged arteries, from a heart attack, or it could have been a heart attack, or maybe it was a heart attack, I don't know. But he died from this, and this is the fact, so don't say anything else. The medical industry, believe it or not, even if, that's surprising how Keta truly doesn't understand how corrupt, how evil the industry, the medical and pharmaceutical industries are. I know that they did not get COVID vaccinated, but she should have known two things. Okay? She should know that the medical industry in general, they often lie, they often exaggerate, they often do things that are unethical, I should say, not harmonious. And so we cannot trust the medical industry. Medical industry is authority that comes basically from, it's an institution. It's an institution. Medical and pharmaceutical industries are large mega corporations that are institutions. Part of society that is slavery. It is slavery, okay? Oh, so what she said, that is fact. She's saying now, okay, it's fact that the medical industry doesn't lie, that they are correct with everything. And Mango did not want to have his body, from what I read throughout his autobiography, what I knew about him, interviewing him many times. I'm probably one of the only channels that has interviewed him like the most times. I know that he did not want to support the medical and pharmaceutical industries at all. So when she took the body in saying, yeah, do whatever you want with the body so I know what happened, she's trusting in medical industry. Okay? So the action is not aligning with her hard values, with the hard values of who we are as sovereign human beings. Our hard values are of love. And sending a body that Mango Wodzak did not want anyone to experiment on or to dissect or to rip apart. Who knows what they did to his body? We really don't know. And they said that he died from clogged arteries or something like that. They will say whatever they want. And we're going to believe them because it's here on paper. It's here on paper. That's a whole lot of nonsense, people. Okay? I, for one moment, and Aurora, for one moment. Aurora's a little bit different when it comes to this because she doesn't know what's going to happen if all her teeth fall out at some point. Or, this kind of thing. Because dentistry, I have some things to say about dentistry at a later time. But in any case, I, for one thing, do not ever support the medical and pharmaceutical industries. Never, ever, ever. Okay? Now, that is something that I stand by. If I'm dying here, I'm going to die here. And I'm not going to let them take my body, for anybody to take my body and put it in a cemetery or something. Or whatever they're going to do with my body, do all sorts of experimentations. And people will say, well, why the hell not? Why the hell not? When you go, who cares? You're not going to feel anything. Your soul is just going to leave the body. It's going to go to another place in time, and animal go away. And your body's just going to, yeah, why? Why? Because I don't want them to get their hands on my precious body. My precious body. Oh, I love my beard. My precious body is for the earth. I don't want to contaminate the earth, so I don't want them to prod and poke it and put more chemicals in it and all this kind of thing. I want my body in the earth, in peaceful village, land. So that's who Aurora and I are. We want our bodies back into the land. We all came from the earth, so we go back to the land. Yeah. So Mango, he was a man, a human being that did not want anything to do with medical industry or pharmaceutical industry. He was letting nature take course. And so the understanding is that Keta was probably scared or something, I don't know, and wanted to save Mango maybe, so she took him there. She didn't take him there. She called the ambulance. The ambulance eventually came. This kind of stuff. So Yeah, so Mango did not want that, and Keta was trusting in the medical industry. Come on, I thought somebody like this was going to be very, very open to understanding that no medical industry at all. But I also understand that when there's someone with you for a very long time, and you're going to the markets and you're going to the city or the town from time to time, and they see you with that person, and then at some point, if the person dies and you don't tell people about what happened to that person, then they start, inquiring, what happened? What happened to your partner? Where is he? Why is he not with you? And this kind of things, and questioning and all this. And then when visitors go to your house, if they do, visitors or volunteers go to your house and they don't see that person there anymore, it's like, what happened to him? What happened to her? What happened? So doing things in your own way, away from society, can be difficult. Burying your husband or your wife or your friend or whoever in your land, in your backyard, is nowadays almost impossible. We need to do things with the system, with the death service. That's what it is. It's a death service. And I want to learn how we can bypass that, so we don't have to rely on this system that takes money from us, invades our privacy, and just takes away all our freedom, to do what we want with our own bodies or our loved ones' bodies. Our biological parents have nothing to do with this. We have our own say. We are sovereign beings. And so when we have a spouse or a partner, or a friend or someone, and someone dies close to them that we're living together, they have a right to bury their body in their land or in their backyard or wherever. That is because we are sovereign human beings. And we don't have to tell anything to any authority at all, But it's difficult because I understand how people are so close to each other. The houses are like right next to each other. I don't know with Mango and Keta how close their house or their land was to other neighbors, but probably they knew eventually what happened, and so she couldn't hide it. So she had to probably call the ambulance and all this kind of thing. And sad, it's very sad when people are trying to do their best to living their values, their core values, and saying, hey, I just want to bury my husband's body, or I want to bury my wife's body, or I want to bury my friend's body, or my family's body in the land. But society doesn't allow that. They think, oh, you're burying someone's body, so you're covering up. You're doing some kind of crime. Maybe you killed them, and now you're covering the evidence by burying them. Damn it! I just want to bury my family in my own land. Is that possible? So it gets to the point where it's like almost impossible to do that. So there's a book at some point that I would like to write. I don't know what it's going to be called, but I really want to talk about this death thing because it's taboo to talk about death. And it's a very, very hard topic, and many people don't want to talk about. So the clogged arteries, the clogged arteries, that could have been somewhat true, yes. because from what I understand, Mango Wodzak, maybe I'm wrong, but from what he was saying in his autobiographies, is that, and I haven't seen all his videos because I didn't have proper internet at the time. So I was not able to see every single video that he did. But I know that he was eating a lot of durians. A lot of durians, a lot of fatty fruits, mainly fatty fruits and juices. Now, if this is true, that juices put a lot of sugar into our bodies, take out the fiber and put sugar into our bodies, if it's not good to be doing this, I have something to say about juicing. Now, I have something to say about juicing and blending, or smoothies, what they call. So juicing and blending are two different things, because you have the fiber is retained when you blend something. The fiber is still there unless you filter it with a sieve. But with a juicer, almost completely the fiber is gone. Depending on the type of juice, you can put some of the fiber back and you can have a kind of a more fibrous juice. Or you can even have, for example, orange juice, so hand squeeze it, and then put some of that pulp into your body so you get some fiber. Yeah, so it seemed that Mango Wodzak, because his teeth, he had just a few teeth left. He told me about 5 or so teeth left, that basically it's another topic altogether about teeth that I did talk about before. So check that video out. Somewhere there in YouTube land. So this clogged arteries, he was eating a lot of fat and a lot of juicing. Juicing has nothing to do with clogged arteries. The medical industry said that he had clogged arteries. Some of the arteries completely blocked. And my understanding is that he probably ate very high fat. And just mostly fat and juices. Here and there he did eat, but fat and juices. And I know in the raw vegan, even vegans and raw vegans tend to eat a lot of fat. Tend to eat a lot of fat. What I mean by fat, because everything has fat in it. Even a leaf has fat. Even this basil leaf, which is a wild basil or holy basil, this basil has a percentage of it as fat. Okay? So every plant, every animal, everything in existence cannot live without fat. Okay? I don't know about minerals, but definitely everything that we consume has fat. Okay? That we consume internally in our bodies has fat. Okay? And if we're eating a variety of stuff, we're getting enough fat in for our food. So, but he's eating a lot of overt fat. Overt fat is a food source that contains mostly the composition as fat. So avocados, coconuts, ackee, durian, well, maybe not durians, because durian is also very, very sweet. This kind of things, very, very fatty fruits. Here, morete, nyacus, aguaje, paso, these kind of things, I think even ingragua is fatty fruit. I can't remember. Anyways, so it seemed that he ate a lot of fat. Okay. Fat that is dehydrated, like nuts and seeds that may be dehydrated, and fat that is like fruity fats that are cooked are worse. But definitely, and definitely oils are horrible. But definitely any type of fat, even raw fats, like eating an avocado just like that, from time to time is okay. Here and there, 1 or 2 every week, 3 every week maximum probably. That could be okay. But eating every single day fat, overt fats, that's not a healthy thing. Even though I don't claim to not do this, sometimes I do this because we are human beings. We're all so, we're all so into this density. We really need this heavy food, and that is what Mango was trying to get. He understood the ethics, the harmony in just eating fruits. But when we are connected to internet and Wi-Fi, and we don't have so much physical activity in nature, and we're just living, not eating organic or veganic, it's problematic. We need to kind of balance it with a little bit of cookery, because we're not going to fare well. Mango Wodzak was compensating all that radiation, all that lack of movement and things like that. He was compensating that with fat, eating of fat. So that is something as well. However, truly what did Mango die of? Nobody knows, because no one was with him. The closest person that could have known what happened was Keta. From her view, and also from what she experienced with him. But it seems that they were not always physically together. They were not in the same room. They were in different rooms doing different things. So they were not always together. Yes, from time to time, here and there, they were together, but they were not together also. So that's just what I want to mention. Okay, I don't want to go on too long with this video, but that is what I want to mention. So this is something that people need to realize, that most likely it wasn't the water that killed him. It was something poisoned him. It was coupled, of course, with the high fat and everything like that, that I guess made his immune system or something very weak, or his body very weak. And because he's eating a lot of fat, he's not getting the liquid that he needed. So in that case, it could have been that the water would have helped him, but that wasn't the cause of the actual problem. The cause of the problem was 2 things. And they will not tell you this. The doctors will not tell you this. The hospitals will not tell you this. The medical industry will not tell you this. People, listen, I want to tell you this straight up. What happened? What happened was that Mango Wodzak ate too much fat. He did not do so much exercise. He did not do so much movement of the body. Here and there, from my understanding, he was eating very high fat, and he wasn't taking in a lot of hydration. He said that he was doing a lot of juices because he couldn't eat so much solid things. But ultimately came down to that thing, that high fat, and also that he was poisoned. Yeah, when you're buying food from the markets, from any outside markets in the towns or cities, or even from neighbors, they are most likely using, almost surely using animal manure. Blood meal, bone meal, fish meal, all this kind of stuff, but definitely at least animal manure. And not just any animal manure, they're getting their manure from big scale animal agriculture. So factory farms, these kind of things. If they're getting it from their own animals, you know, it's a little bit better, though I don't advocate using animals at all. So just leave the animals, non-human animals, alone. But in any case, that is the culprit, the main culprit. The third thing could be also the chemicals that were used, sprayed on the crops for human consumption. This is the sad reality that we live in. We don't grow all of our own food. None of us probably were born or live right now in an intentional community that are completely self-sustainable. There's probably nobody like that currently. Maybe a dozen or so throughout the world, but that's about it. But people listening to this video, probably there is no one of you listening to this video that live in an intentional community that's completely self-sustainable. Okay? At least from birth, right? So the chemicals destroyed his body, weakening his immune system, his body, and the shit and the piss from the animals. That was the main thing. Those two things. And the fat was a thing. It could have helped if he was drinking more water, definitely. Yeah, it's just this industrialized food is very contaminated, people. So that's just how it is. We are still doing that. We're still eating industrialized food, fruits and vegetables, sprayed and who knows with what. And so we do our best. For example, now we have our own bananas from the land. So we have veganic bananas. We have some other things like pineapples, bananas. We have nenejillas, nenejilla de monte. So nenejilla is basically a hybrid nenejilla crossed with Ciciflorum. But we have those are the main fruits that we are getting here. We have some other things like leaves, herbs, verbena, basil. We have katuk or sweet leaf. We have some other things as well. But those are the main things that we have. We have the trees are still very young. We have some nonis. So we have nonis as well. But the trees are still very young. A lot of ajis, a lot of hot peppers, a lot of chilies, as some people call them. So these are the foods that we are currently harvesting. So we're still going to town and getting most of our food. We probably produce less than 5% of our food, but we're doing our best, and we are trying to grow as much as we can here. We always need volunteers to help us, really, really dedicated volunteers, people that eventually at some point would like to become community members, because we would love you to be part of this peaceful village land. So no one is perfect, no one is completely free of any chemicals or any manure or anything like that. So we got to do our best. So thanks for joining me, everybody. This is 40 minutes, so the time is up. Thank you for joining me in Terra Libertad, Peaceful Village. And I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.